Welcome into the Broncos Breakdown. I'm your host, Matthew Peterson, and I'm a host without a voice right now. I kind of lost it the other day. Hopefully going to find it sometime soon. But in the meantime, the Broncos found themselves a win. They beat up on the Lions 38-10 in what was a very emotional game from a lot of different perspectives. Of course, the late passing of a Broncos legend, Demaryius Thomas. Really tough to put into words what the impact he had on the organization and on so many lives. He was just so beloved. There's a picture of the tribute and memorial that Denver had outside the stadium. Fans were able to put their own flowers and whatever items they wanted to offer up in that tribute. Also on the field, they spray painted number 88, where several times Broncos players went over, including a Justin Simmons interception ball landing itself right in the middle of that 88 after what was a phenomenal play from Simmons. And there it is right there, the tribute for Demaryius Thomas, gone way too soon at the very young age of 33. Let's get back into the recap here because we got the Broncos all of a sudden back into contention, right? We're talking ourselves into this team maybe being a playoff team. You did beat up on the Lions, so you take that with a little bit of a grain of salt. But at the end of the day, winning is fun. Raise your hand if you like having fun. I like having fun. Producer Jeff likes having fun. So if you like having fun, then go ahead and like this video because I love winning and I love having fun when you're winning. And 38-10 is a lot of fun and you're kicking ass. So like this video. Let's get into the numbers here for that 38-10 lopsided affair. The first half, there's a voice crack. The first half was kind of close. It was a 17-7 game at the half right there, but Denver just pulled away in the second half. The Lions, they came in really beat up in this game. They were missing a ton of players due to COVID and other flu-like symptoms. And altogether, when you're missing your leading running back and your leading wide receiver and your tight end, by the way, TJ Hawkinson, and no DeAndre Swift, and your offense is already cheeks, it's not going to be pretty. I thought Teddy Bridgewater played pretty well. I think he did what he had to do, and when your running game is doing phenomenal things and your defense is awesome, you don't need a ton out of your quarterback. So honestly, less is more in that kind of situation. But speaking of the running game, Melvin Gordon and Javonte Williams. Williams went off on Sunday night when Gordon missed last week with an injury. Melvin Gordon returns, and he really returned. Touched the ball 24 times, 24 carries for him, ran for a $111, 4.6 average. Rushed 2 times. Williams, meanwhile, he gets involved in the passing game, picks up a receiving touchdown from Teddy while also running one in himself. The two-headed monster right there combines for 4 touchdowns. This is why you drafted Williams in Gordon's last year of his contract, so that you can get every last little bit out of Melvin Gordon while having a stud rising back in Javonte Williams. And it's fun when that two-headed combination works perfectly. So where you at? Grade the Broncos' Week 14 performance. A, B, C, D, or F. Hard to do anything below a B, I'd imagine. Sure, maybe a slowish start if you want to get nitpicky. And I would like to see Courtland Sutton kind of get some more involvement in the game. Got the bag a couple weeks ago. Been kind of quiet since. He draws a couple pass interferences, but I want to see Courtland Sutton get the ball, get involved more along with Jerry Jeudy. But for me, I'm giving this an A+. This is the pinned comment, so make sure you go ahead down, scroll, and reply. But I'm giving this one an A+, okay? Denver absolutely beat the crap out of Detroit. A lot of emotions coming into this game. The sheriff was in town, and throughout it all, Denver went out and played arguably the best game of the year from the special teams, offense, and defense perspective. Granted, they came at home, and they came against a one-win Detroit team. But in the NFL, they're all professionals. Never forget that. They are all doing something for a living, and they don't want to do a bad job because you get fired when you do a bad job. So A+ for me in my book. And also, this defense, it's got a swagger to them. I'm not quite sure how to summarize it. Maybe you could summarize it down below. But there is just something about, it's a little bit of unknowns. A lot of these key contributors right now were not starting players at the beginning of the year. Your top 2 guys were Bradley Chubb and Von Miller. And now we're seeing Jonathan Cooper and a handful of other, not no-namers, but rising guys that are like, okay, I see you. I like them. And I loved what I've seen out of Simmons. K-Jack had a great game. Surtain was also getting some Champ Bailey talk in the broadcast. This defense, it's got something. And this offense, and this team has 5 picks in the top 100 of the upcoming NFL draft, so they can really bolster it up. That Shelby Harris and Jones, Purcell, everyone on the defensive line played a phenomenal game as well. We also have a great deal going on with our friends at Fanatics. Get this awesome camo hat, $24. That's 25% off. Have to use that link at the bottom of your screen, chatsports.com/Broncos hat. Plug that link in, and boom, you're looking at this sweet hat right here. It's going to come before Christmas, so if you're late on your holiday shopping, like me, get ahead of it right now, or not even get ahead of it. Try to catch up right now with this awesome hat. 25% off. The sale won't last forever, so get in right now with our friends over at Fanatics when you use chatsports.com/Broncos hat. All right, enough hat rambling. How about Jonathan Cooper? This is the guy I was talking about just a moment ago, of a player that you just didn't expect to be this much of a contributor so far this season. Came up with a big fumble recovery. This Broncos defense was generating turnovers. It was a game where Detroit goes home. It's a long plane ride home. No one's playing cards. People are just putting ice on stuff because the defense was pounding them. Cooper so far this year, when he's had an opportunity, I thought he's been great. I loved what I saw out of him in the Cowboys game a couple of weeks ago. He's a little hit or miss, but then again, he's a rookie. He's a 7th-round draft pick out of Ohio State, and he's having this much of a contribution. I mean, the return on your investment right there is off the charts. Cooper, if you're watching, love what you're doing, man. Keep it up. Guys, make sure that you subscribe to the breakdown as well. That way, if you want to recap as soon as the game ends, you turn your notifications on, and boom, we're coming at you as soon as humanly possible. Basically, waiting for Cooperstein here, my producer, to get out of the bathroom, and that way we can get rolling and start filming. So hit that big red button today and subscribe. Hopefully we get enough subscriptions and my voice will come back, and I'll give you guys an update on the letter count because we are bombarding Fangio, although he did pretty well today. Teddy Bridgewater, you got to talk about the quarterback, right? It's not a recap if you don't bring up the QB. Like I said earlier, I thought Teddy 2 gloves and Teddy 2 covers, by the way, covered today. Good job, Teddy. I thought he did his job, right? His job was when the defense and the run game is doing great stuff, just don't get in the way of it, okay? Protected the football, made smart decisions, got the ball in his receiver's hands, only threw for 179 yards because he only had to throw for 179 yards. The run game was all over the place. The defense was giving them short fields, generating off turnovers, forcing punts. So for your Teddy Bridgewater, you don't have to go out there and like, all right, we just crack some knuckles and throw a 75-yard bomb. That was not in the job description today for Teddy Bridgewater. So good job, Teds. But guys, be honest with me. After this win, what's your confidence level in the Broncos making the NFL playoffs? Let me know how confident you are because we're going to look at their upcoming schedule, and it's not too simple or easy. But let me know down below. Next week, Denver hosts the Cincinnati Bengals. As I film this, that game is going into overtime. Robbie Gould missed what would have been a walk-off field goal. So maybe by the time we're done filming, we know how the Bengals game came out. But Cincinnati, they're a tough team to peg. You don't know what you're going to get out of them, but they are not a team you want to face. They're in that category. You don't want to play the Bengals because you don't know what Bengals you're going to get. The Raiders, I said it before, and I will say it again, and it'll be on my tombstone. They are bad at football. Not worried. At the Chargers, they beat the crap out of the Giants today. Now the Giants are without their starting quarterback, and they're the Giants. But still, I think the Chargers are a good football team, and they are winning football games. And then Week 18, home against the Chiefs. I had a prediction video early on. I'm counting on the Broncos to win that one. I think at home, maybe get a little momentum going after a couple wins, and you feel the pressure of winning. You're in for the playoffs. So I got the Broncos beheading the Chiefs at home to wrap up this season. But if the Broncos don't make the playoffs, these are the 2 games I'm looking at. The Steelers game where the Broncos offense did not wake up until the 4th quarter against what has proven to be a very beatable Pittsburgh Steelers team. And then at home against the Eagles where it looked like no effort was put forth after coming off a high game in Dallas, demolishing the Cowboys, and you come back and you let the Eagles just absolutely blow the barn doors off of you. Those are the 2 games I look back and go, if the Denver Broncos finish 9-8 and they needed 10-7 to make the playoffs, those 2 are the ones that are sticking in my mind. We'll catch you later here on the Broncos Breakdown, but Denver picking up a nice win and a great tribute and memorial to the Broncos legend, Demaryius Thomas.